congratulate you on this compilation. It's a really great body of work, and I think coming from you, it has extra significance.
Thank you very much. It's very nice to meet someone who knows about the subject.
Well, thanks. I've been devoted to it for a long time.
Yes, I'm very pleased to say that this is Edward Seaga, here with the host of Reggae Boomshot.
Jamaica is a very small island with a huge influence on world music all around the world. Why is that? Why do you think?
Two things. One is the rhythm of the music. It's impulsive. You can't put that outside. Once you hear it, you feel something. And secondly, you can't overlook the fact that people like Bob Marley really made a great impact. His message was the message of the sufferer in the underprivileged world,
Yes.
undeveloped world.
That's right.
And he spoke to them. And there's nothing more powerful than when you have a strong message and a good tune and a good rhythm. When you have all those together, then you really have something that's worth carrying.
To make everything come true, we got to be together. Yeah, yeah. And through the spirit of the Most High, His Imperial Majesty, and brightly eyes last.
So wherever you go in the world, if it's even to a small Polynesian island, and you mention the Jamaican music, they say, Bob Marley. It's known. It's actually, to my mind, the strongest brand that Jamaica has, because it is by that brand that we are known throughout the world. We have other things that are worldwide recognized, but not throughout the world. Mm-hmm. Tourism, for instance. And of course, we now have track and field athletics, which has made a world impact too. But it doesn't stick with you the way the music does, because you hear the music all the time.
Why doesn't the Jamaican government do more to support the indigenous music? Do you think that enough has been done to promote and spread the music's appeal to the rest of the world?
If the government tried that, it would fail. This is not something that can be done by a government. The government can stand in the background and help from the background. But to come up front and organize it, it's not organizable. It's in the spirit, the impulsive spirit of a number of creative people. And they themselves couldn't act together, couldn't move together, they couldn't work together. They all are individual CEOs.
Now, of course, there was that famous World's Fair where you, I believe you were instrumental in organizing.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean, stand in the background.
Okay.
I organized that, and Byron Dean went up with a bunch of the then very popular artists. And they played it for long sessions. But it wasn't the right time. The music wasn't really being accepted in the United States. People stopped, they listened. Some stayed on, some moved off. But basically it wasn't the right time.
But I think people look back on that fondly. That was a great moment for putting Jamaica out to the world.
Yeah.
And certainly ska has been tremendously copied and has influenced all kinds of American and European and other cultural music forms. I mean,
that's right.
You know, we're still seeing new ska bands every day in California and England.
France,
Exactly.
Japan.
Yes.
You should see the Japanese do a takeoff on Jamaican dancehall. It's comical because you know it's Japanese doing it, but they could pass for any top level dancehall group in Jamaica.
When the beat came in my book, on check. Then I girl, my gun, them fit on it now. Jeffrey. Alright. もちろんいけてないやつはそいつの
You know, there's something about Jamaica, and I think you are the best person to ask about this. You know, what is that special spark that makes people try to come back to Jamaica and they're drawn to the music, they're drawn to the people? What is it about Jamaica that makes
But
it
if
so?
you took all the islands in the Caribbean Sea, there is only one other that has Jamaica's environmental beauty, and that's Grenada. The rest of them are flat, very little hill, mostly limestone, and they don't have anything that's try to have good beaches, yes, but they just don't have what Jamaica has: the beach, the mountain, the climate, the atmosphere, and the zest for life that Jamaicans have.
Yes, yes. The zest for life, I think, is an important part. Everyone wants to have that zest. It's
Was there a
contagious.
film that Halle Berry made? That she was going back, she was going to Jamaica to what was it called?
Oh, get her groove back. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When you look back over the 50 years of Jamaica, what was your favorite moment, music moment, out of all those years?
Well, the peace concert stood out so far ahead of everything else that you have to put it in a class by itself.
Peace and love.
Other than that, there are moments when a really great record hits the scene and given a lot of rotations, but I wouldn't put it in that class. I can't think of another occasion in which the music, well, yes. Unfortunately, this was not a Jamaican tune, but My Boy Lollipop.
My boy lollipop, you make my heart go giddy up. You set the world on fire. You are my one desire.
Oh, yeah.
When Millie Small made My Boy Lollipop and it went straight to the top, that jolted the country because before that the music was divided in terms of popularity. The downtown people, that's their music. The uptown people said it's downtown music, so it doesn't have anything to do with it. The radio stations wouldn't play it. And it wasn't until Millie Small made that recording that the uptown people really became more knowledgeable of the music and began to follow it. And after that, I brought Barley to the area that I represented in political life, which was the heart of the creative section of the inner city. And he heard the music. And Takama started to play at his weekly dance sessions, and that added more people who wanted to follow it. And then one of the radio stations broke away and decided to put on a weekly, what they call teenage dance party on air. And they only play downtown music. They only play the ska, rocksteady, and so on.
I see.
So when you put all those together, the music was a social engineer. It was a program of transformation, social transformation. So it's not just music alone.
I see that. It is, social engineer is a perfect way to put it.
And while that was not something that happened at one day and one session, it happened over a period of time. It's one of the great events, one of the great things that has happened.
You mentioned your constituents in the inner city, and of course there have been hard times there in the last few years. How are the people of Tivoli Gardens doing today? How are things there now?
While I'm living, thanks I'll be giving the Most High.
Jamaica's had hard times from ever since. There are periods in which we have been able to ease our way out of some of the problems that we face. And there are other occasions in which the same problems come back with more intensity. And right now I think the feeling is that the intensity is once again hitting a peak because of coming out of the global recession. And I've not yet been able to adapt ourselves economically to growing out of the hole. So the IMF is there in discussions with us, but it's a case of whether the medicine is going to be too bitter. So that's where we are now.
Well, I hope that there are greater things to celebrate 50 years from now as you mark the Jubilee and look to the future.
There's some fundamental things that have to be done, and until those are done, we have had, for instance, less than a 1% rate of growth on the average over the last 20 years. And until something is done to correct the fundamental that is causing that, there's no question that it's going to continue.
Right.
And how long can a country continue to grow for? Less than 1% per annum. The cake remains the same size, the population grows, and you're cutting the slices get thinner.
Right.
And eventually they're too thin to be worthwhile.
Right.